There we go. Now we're working. Hello, everybody. Welcome to HobbyPlex After Hours. Tonight I actually don't have much to do, so I have this crawler that I've been working on that I kind of changed my mind on the route I'm going to take. So I'm going to strip a bunch of stuff off of it and use it on a different one. And I'm going to do that tonight while we chat back and forth. If you have any questions for me, go ahead. Or if you just want to comment or chat or whatever. It's regular everyday racing coming up, which is good. This weekend again. A lot of kids are graduating, so Aiden Olson and Jack Anderson have graduation parties that will be a lot of people are attending, and of course they can't race, so we'll see what the turnout is, but should be all right. Shouldn't be too bad. Oops. I just got a new air compressor tonight. I went and got an air compressor for my house, and that's almost liberating. Like, it's so much easier to clean stuff, clean RC cars. I got Emerson's Nitro car all cleaned up and ready for the teardown. We got to tear down the diffs and change fluids, tear down the shocks, change fluids, change sway bars, change shocks for the next race. Might go a little lighter all the way around, but it sure was nice having an air compressor and being able to clean that car quickly. I was pretty happy. Cole said, how'd that e-buggy win feel? It was pretty fun. That's Ben Watson's home track. Ben has been coming to the Winter Series the last couple of years, and so it was nice to be able to go somewhere, kind of return the favor, you know, and just go to somebody else's track for once and be able to just kind of set up a table and kick back and work on my own stuff and not really have to worry about anything. It didn't rain, so that was really nice. You know, we were all worried about it raining, and it was pretty fun. Full disclosure, I mean, if Mason Fuller would have came, I think he was planning on it, and he probably would have raced e-buggy. He would have totally kicked my butt. So, but he wasn't there, so whatever. But it was nice to get outside and race. I haven't done that in a long time. You know, I used to travel out, you know, to 8-scale tracks a lot back in the day, and it's been a while since I had that opportunity. So Emerson and I are going to do that more. It's going to be fun. Next one's going to be in June, end of June, for the regionals in Kansas City, Missouri. So I was looking to see if there was like a race that I could go to somewhere else, but earlier. But it's just not going to work out time-wise. We have a lot of stuff coming up at the Plex, so. Cole Webb says he's been waiting for this question all week. Picked up a Reedy S Plus and it's timed. What should I have the timing at? So most stock motors, you kind of want to crank it about as high as you can get it usually. If you have a motor tester, there's a certain number that they're all getting for, but if you don't have one of those, the safe bet would be between 40 and 50 degrees of timing. If it can go more than that, you could probably do more than that. Just remember, it builds up a lot of heat, so it's good to check your temperatures just to make sure that you're not toasting a motor. I'd say anything over 180 degrees is bad news. When you're running your car, you want to be in the 160 range. So just keep that in mind. But 40 to 50 degrees of timing, you'll be fine to just come out and race with. I would definitely get a fan. If you're going to race stock, you really need to get a fan. I don't have my car here. My car's at work, but I put a fan in my car for mod even, just because the new car has a slick little mount back there. And I'm like, well, I have an extra fan. So I just put one in there just kind of because. But if you're racing stock, you definitely want a fan. And they're only like, 15, 16 bucks for a metal one, like the ProTech fans. So shouldn't break the bank to get a fan. So I got this Gatekeeper chassis when I was in Colorado, and I wanted to build up this crawler for Emerson's truck, but none of the bodies I have kind of work with it, I guess. So I think I don't know. I'm just kind of changing my mind about it, and I'm going to take him a different route. So that's why I'm taking everything apart tonight. I'll probably rebuild these shocks. So probably going to put this car on eBay, I'm thinking, and start over. Even though eBay just changed their policies, I finally got hit with that were instead of PayPal, eBay's got their own thing. So it's kind of lame. I had this whole system worked out where I could use my PayPal account for stuff and kind of pay for stuff, and now now everything's going to show up, and who's going to be able to see what I'm doing. That's not good. But whatever, it'll be fine. So what's everybody doing tonight? I was gonna have Silver State running, but then I was kind of worried about the bandwidth. Emerson's upstairs doing something too, so I didn't want to get the video all choppy. But that being said, I think we're going to do another watch party Sunday night for the Silver State off-road race going on in Vegas right now. That track looks brutal. It looks like already it's day one and there's just potholes everywhere. But they got so many entries that Sunday night they're still going to be racing. So I get off work at 6, and I say I'll take a shower and eat something and jump down here about 7 o'clock and watch the mains and see who we get on the YouTube here. Jason Haley was picking up rocks. Michael Groot was relaxing with a cold Mountain Dew. Daniel Bender's on here. How come you haven't been at the track the last couple weeks? Man, these shocks are empty. That is crazy. I can't believe that. Dan Johnson just had ice cream. That's pretty awesome. Ankeny has gold ellipses. So we have a pretty large order from J Concepts coming. It won't be here until next week, but I think I haven't gotten the invoice yet, but it looks like we're going to be replenished somewhat on something. There's $1,600 worth of tires coming, so hopefully some gold ellipses are in there. Peter Renault's making meatloaf. That sounds great. How many local Omaha people are going to be at our Sunday scratch and dent sale at the HobbyPlex? There's if you're looking for some basher kits, there's going to be some stripped down rollers in that kit, in that sale. They're going to be pretty cheap. And I also looked at there's a whole bunch of like basically antiquated rims and tires. All that 60 mil stuff that we all toyed with for a little while. That's all going to be in that sale. So I have this crawler here, and I'm thinking about all the stuff that I can take on it and put it on my Element. I think I can use this rear plate. I think I can use this rear plate, but I got to put it all back together because I want to put it on eBay. And what sucks is I can't use these front and rear bumpers on the crawler that I'm going to put together for Emerson. So I'll just have to set them aside and hope that I can eventually use them for something else. John Haas wants to know any slot car track at the sale. I don't think so. I don't remember seeing any slot car stuff back there. Sorry. The last time we did that, we actually did. And there's still that, there actually is a 4-way international AFX set for discount on there too. Cam's been grabbing a bunch of stuff and slapping it 75% off instead of 50, which is a way better deal. So we'll see if that makes the list. I'll have to look into it. I know there was a guy on Tuesday that was thinking about buying it, and even after I threw a number at him, he didn't buy it. So we'll see what happens. Vitera, nope, no Viteras. Sorry. We haven't had those for a while. I think the last ones we had were those lowrider C10s with the light years ago. It was a while. It's been a while. See if somebody texted me. No, nobody texted me. It was just like a reminder. Jackson, I just said that they're not in stock yet, but there's a couple of boxes direct from J Concepts on the way. So hopefully we get some. I haven't seen the invoice yet, but I asked for gold ellipses, so we'll see if we get any. It's possible they might be silver as well. So. But even that I'd be happy with because we basically have nothing at the moment. It's just kind of lame. I cannot believe that these shocks are just empty. Like there's nothing in them. That is crazy. Yeah, unfortunately, I've had 4 kickstarts today, and I was going to drink one, or I was gonna have one to drink, and then I ended up using it. I went to the flying field today with the hope of flying, and unfortunately did not get to fly because it was so freaking windy. So it kind of ruined that. And you know, it is what it is. I should be, but I'm not. Peter Renault says it's 11 hours and 19 minutes from his track, from his house to our track. That's pretty cool. That's not too bad. I mean, I got drafted to do State Line RC's King of Kings announcing gig 2 years in a row. And the first year I flew, and the second year I drove, and it was 14 hours to get there. I think that's what it was. It was a while. Maybe it was 10. It was 11. I don't know. I don't remember. It was a long time though, because you had to go from State Line to Chicago and then Chicago home. Chicago home's a breeze. It's like 7 hours, but yeah, there was an additional 3 or 4 hours on top of that. I've driven longer. Let's see. I've driven to the Tilt in Virginia. Is it Virginia? Yeah, Virginia. And that was a long time, because you had to take Interstate 80 and then come down. And my wife and I drove to Florida for the Florida Winter Champs in 2001, and that was like 26 hours. And then my buddy Chris and I, we've done the Phoenix drive before twice. Once for the Cactus Classic and once for the Nitro Challenge. And that was a day, 24 hours, 25 hours, something like that. Hold on, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Why do we want golds and not silvers? It's kind of a preference thing. I think I think gold compound for our track allows the tire to skip over the bumps a little bit easier and go faster. Silvers are softer, and at times they can almost feel like too soft and almost greasy. Silvers are really good when the track is brand new. Golds are definitely better when the track is old. So, God, those are filthy. But especially in mod two-wheel, that all the mod guys, I think gold's faster. But that being said, Tom Rinderneck last year, at the start of last year's Summer Series, ran silvers and whooped everybody's butt. So, who knows? Jason Haley, did you get your scooter? I did. I did get my scooter, and I actually I rode it to work for crawling night with my crawler strapped to the back of it, and then I rode it home, and then I put it away for the night, and then Wednesday I got up and did a mountain bike ride, came back home, and hopped on the scooter to come to work, and it wouldn't start. And so the dealer came and got it, and they're looking at it now, and hopefully I get it back soon, because I've already missed out on a couple nice days to ride to work, and the whole point is to ride to work when I don't have to like do anything with my truck and save myself some gas money. So yeah, I was a little butthurt Wednesday, but whatever. Rod Case finally had to replace my old lawnmower. He's had it for a while. I saw that. Steve RC wants to know what tools when he gets his B6 3D. I think you just need metric Allen wrenches and a 7 and 5.5 millimeter nut driver, and you should be good. John Haas says that golds also last longer. That's another thing. It's true. Yeah, John, actually tonight I was gonna glue truck tires, and I skipped out of work so fast today that I forgot them. So they're still in my box at work. Wah, wah. Peter Renault wants to know what stadium truck tires do we need. You basically need any sort of clay compound, like web type tire. So positrons and ellipses are the most popular, but you can also use crosslinks, electrons, and dirt webs if you can find them. Jackson, I haven't put any stay wet on the track for a little while. I've been kind of like saving it since I'm actually kind of running out. It's I have like this much left of the 5-gallon bucket, and it's $350 the last time we bought it. And who knows how much it costs now. So I've been waiting to treat it. I didn't even treat it really for the spring race. Also haven't really needed it to be honest with you. It's been holding up, so. Cole Webb still wants to know what he should set his timing to if he doesn't have a temp gauge. I would say put it at 45 and call it good, and then see how fast you're going. Because also with timing, you can adjust the timing and adjust the gearing at the same time, and try to get that that punch and that without burning it up. So. The Plex should have their own tires. Yeah. So yeah, interesting. I cannot believe that these shocks leaked out as fast as they did. These are expensive shocks. What the heck? Well, that's weird. Let's just do it this way. Yeah, I asked the kiddo if he wants to race tomorrow, and that was a big negative. So, and I got to get ready for that sale. They're still tagging stuff. I'm still getting stuff organized, so I probably won't run any cars. Racing Saturday, though. God, those are filthy, too. That is crazy. Yeah, it's supposed to rain all weekend. It's supposed to rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm hoping it doesn't rain tonight because I want to go ride my bike before all that happens. Cole, you should go to Walmart and buy a bottle of liquid wrench or PB blaster. That's what I use for tire sauce. It lasts longer and it's cheaper than that SXT stuff. And the only drawback is it smells. So the SXT stuff doesn't smell, but PB blaster and liquid wrench work better. If you want your tires to last a little longer, use liquid wrench. If you don't care about your tires that much, use PB blaster. or use it sparingly, just for break-in maybe. Steve RC wants to know how many Plex spec entries during the summer series. There's usually 2 heats of Plex spec, usually. It kind of depends on how old some of the kids are and if they've moved on each year past, you know, to like independent or expert stock or whatever. But I'd say usually there's 2 heats, which is nice because then they can marshal it for each other. You know how I am with that. So. John, I don't think PB Blaster wrecks tires. It just if you use a lot of it all the time, your tires can get kind of your tires can get worn out pretty fast, put it that way. But what I usually do is after I break in my tires, I'll put them on like maybe 10-15 minutes before heat and call it good. I think that if you leave it on for like a half hour, then it kind of balloon a little bit and get that air gap. So you kind of got to be careful with it. You kind of got to know how long it can sit on there without getting the tires weird and still have traction for the entire heat. So Steve, we're using the track that we have now. So the track sort of ekes into the dirt oval space, but I've used it sparingly so I don't have to ruin the dirt oval. So I think the track size right now is actually pretty good. I'm actually really happy with it. Kind of bummed out from today. I wanted to fly my planes. When I got to the field, it was incredibly windy. And then I wanted to go ride my mountain bike and basically just ran out of daylight. I guess the good thing is I got an air compressor, so pretty happy with that. I've been meaning to get an air compressor for a very, very long time. I need a brush. I'll be right back. I know I had a brush somewhere. Yeah, PB Blaster's usually like you know, almost getting close to $5 now, but it is oil based, so I suppose it's probably going to go up in price at some point, just like everything else. But even then, I mean, the SXT stuff's like $11 for a small bottle of it. So anytime that I've used that SXT stuff, I feel like it actually balloons my tires worse. So that's why I have kind of gotten away from using it. Yeah, and the Plex used to have an air compressor, and unfortunately, one of the part-time kids that we had working for us didn't put it away. One time when I asked him to go and clean stuff, like he was looking for stuff to do, and I was like, well, we can blow out the computers and stuff. And so this kid went down there and did it, and then never put the air compressor away. And I didn't even think about it. And so it sat outside overnight. And lo and behold, when I said, hey, where's our air compressor? And he was like, oh, I didn't put it away that night. And I'm like, really? And it was gone. So if you guys want to know why I always want to do stuff myself, that's a good reason right there. I have a hard time letting go of certain things because if it doesn't get done right, then the next thing you know, you're missing a $300 air compressor. I got a 20-gallon air compressor because they were on sale at Harbor Freight. It works good so far. Can't race 8 scale without an air compressor because those cars get so dirty. And with all the fuel and the oil and the fuel and, you know, the oil that accumulates around your differentials and stuff like that, and your out cars can just get annihilated if you don't clean them. So it's just really important. It's noisy. Definitely noisy. The one that we used to have at the Plex was noisy too. It was an oilless one, and it was noisy. So I don't know if there's any getting around that part of it. So I feel like these O-rings I have in here just didn't seal very well. Kind of bums me out. So we'll put some green slime in there and see if we can get it to do better this time. They're not even really ballooned up. And it's like all there is that's stopping that from leaking out. So should have some green. We're just gonna spooge this all in there. Yeah, I'm sure my neighbors were like, oh man. So we just the house next to us just got sold, and Emerson decided to put a I can't remember exactly what it's called, but the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. He's got a real like libertarian streak going right now, and so he stuck that flag outside, and then I've got an air compressor going in the garage. I'm sure our new neighbors are like, oh, these people. Hey, will you find me a rag?
Mm-hmm. It's the Gadsden flag.
Yeah, the Gadsden flag. That's right. Find me a rag, will you?
Well, I don't have a shirt on. So I can't.
Yeah, don't walk in front of the camera. Just go find me a rag. That's all I'm asking you to do. I'm making a mess. Okay, now I need shock oil. As you guys can see tonight, I'm not exactly all prepared. I honestly didn't really have a whole lot to do. Like I said, just I probably should be gluing tires, but I didn't buy any rims today, so go figure. Hey, is this? Oh, never mind. Paul, I am building axial shocks again. These were SCX-10-3 shocks, and they were on my SCX-10-2 that was Emerson's, and then I transferred all of Emerson's over to this Gatekeeper chassis in front of me. And after trying to put this Gatekeeper together, I think I'm just gonna like order a Gatekeeper stage 4 kit and not worry about whatever I'm doing here, because it didn't quite, nothing quite like came together like I wanted it to. And I think the actual Gatekeeper, chassis with all the stuff on it, like I'm using my own panhard mount, and the compression didn't work right. It basically keeps leaning to one side. I'm not very happy with it. And the way the front bumper mount was on there without their proper stuff on it, it just didn't fit right. And so there's kind of a bunch of stuff that I'm just kind of like deciding maybe it'd just be better if I just either got a used one or ordered like the actual unit. So I'm stripping all the good stuff off of it, and I'm going to put it on a different SCX-10-2 kit that I have. And I'm going to take all the stuff that's on this SCX-10-2 kit and put it on here. And I'm probably going to list this truck on eBay just to see if I can get some of my money back out of it and kind of start over. So that's what I'm doing. I'm basically just finding stuff to do tonight while I'm on here with you guys. So we were going to clean the 8 scale tonight, but it's already been done, so I don't have to bore you guys with that. And yeah, it just kind of is what it is tonight. Yeah, you know what's weird is my my SCX-10-3, those shocks haven't leaked once. Like from the build video I did like 6 or 7 months ago, or 8 months ago, maybe a year ago. Maybe I did that a year ago. Anyways, those shocks haven't leaked at all. And so I was so impressed by them that I got these, and these just leaked out completely. So I don't know if I missed something or just didn't build them right, or maybe they just got gritty and leaked out that way. I don't think the shafts are scraped up in any sort of way. So I'm just going to try again, see what happens. What did I miss on here? Hold on a second. What are we talking about up here? Let's see. Would you pre-mount tires if you have them, or wait until you need them? I'd mount them. I mean, I was planning on mounting tires tonight for the summer series next week, and I just like I said, I got out of work so fast at the store that I kind of forgot to get rims. So otherwise, I'd be building shocks right now. So that never hurts. Just build them and put them in a bag and save them for when you need them, or get them broken in, put them back in a bag and get going, or get those cool gravity tire cylinder thingies. I've got a couple of those. Bender says he doesn't expect there won't be any people. Saturday's been okay. Listen, if we get 45, 50 entries on a Saturday, that's still a win in my opinion. Even if we have like 30 entries, it's a quick day, but we're racing. So I'm not too worried about it. I think there'll be plenty of racers on Saturday. That being said, Aiden's graduation, I'm going to after racing is over. So hopefully we get a nice turnout, but not a really nice turnout, so I can go participate in that. Right? There we go. Feels better. I just slopped a whole bunch of simple green in there, and we'll see if it holds up. Paul just built his G-Made G2OF military kit, painting tomorrow. That's pretty cool. G-Made's been getting better at stuff too. They're one of the scale stuff's getting better and better and better every time they make something. I think. There was I think one of our local guys has a G-Made chassis with a like a home built I think he's using SCX-10 axles with a G-Made chassis, a different transmission. It's like a Franken truck, but it works really good. Oh, sorry, we're in Omaha, Nebraska. I am the one of the store managers for the Hobbytown HobbyPlex in Omaha, Nebraska. And we've got a big dirt track, big carpet track, an indoor and outdoor crawling course, and we have a lot of fun with it. Paul, there's actually a Paul Schreier. There's a video of the truck that I took a couple weeks ago, and it should be. Let's see if I can find it. It's this one here. I don't know if you can see that. It's that truck. So check out that video. Jim did pretty good. I think this was the course 3 weeks ago. And he's one of our better local crawler guys. He started with an Enduro, and now he's got a whole bunch of different stuff, including the Franken truck. That's what I call it. So Jason Haley got the revised Traxxas pit mat today. Is that the one that's got the like the recessed edges for parts and stuff like that? I think I saw something, Bender. Is it okay to get green slime inside the shock body? Yes. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, the cliffhanger. Yeah, it's a cliffhanger body. I don't know why I forgot the name of that body. It's the Proline cliffhanger. And thanks. I hate painting, so anytime that I paint a multicolor body, and it actually turns out okay, I'm pretty happy with it because I suck at painting. All my crawlers kind of have that Hobbytown motif, you know. Cole wants to know, Alex, I've never seen you run all-wheel drive buggy. Did you like all-wheel drive buggy? I love racing four-wheel drive. I just usually, because I'm running races, I have to pick a class and kind of stick with it, and that's why I run two-wheel drive regardless of what happens. I might have a four-wheel drive 10-scale car again. You know, I'll get a Techno EB 410.2 at some point this summer, probably, maybe. I don't know. But I'm pretty happy with my 8-scale, and pretty happy with Emerson's 8-scale too. He did really good with it. I was really proud of him. Shit. Yeah, that first Summer Series race seems to be hitting people hard again. Like, you know, anytime that we schedule races in May, which is obviously our first Summer Series race, but even when we used to have the J Concepts race every Memorial Day weekend, you know, it's always a tough, just a tough month because we all know teenagers who are graduating, and you know, or vacation. Memorial Day was always tough because, you know, that's people's first chance to kind of, a lot of times, to get out of the house and stuff. So May's always really rough. Usually our first round is this weekend, but we knew a year in advance that Aiden Olson was going to be having his graduation party this weekend. So we scheduled the Summer Series for next weekend. So next year, it'll be back to the weekend after Mother's Day. We know better than to schedule stuff on Mother's Day weekend. Cole Webb, Ashton Abdul lives here in Omaha, dude. He's an Omaha native, but he primarily just likes to race 8-scale. So you don't really see him. You don't really see him at the Plex unless there's an 8-scale race going on. Which you know, he's got a Team Losi sponsorship, so you'd think he'd race some 10-scale with us, but that's not his bag, man. He really likes he just likes the 8-scale stuff. Kyosho Tomahawk. I haven't seen one of those in forever. I've actually came into possession of a couple Ultimas over the years. original Olas, not the redone ones, and I thought those are pretty cool. Elkhorn is like Elkhorn is actually part of Omaha officially now. But it's basically like what Bennington is to Omaha. So technically I live in Bennington, but Omaha is literally like over there, like 10 feet. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Paul, where are you from? Paul Schreier. I see you're one of the unfortunate souls who doesn't really have a RC track near you. We're pretty fortunate here in Nebraska. We got a pretty strong RC scene, man. We've got drag racing, crawling, obviously racing. Oh, Portland, Oregon. Dude, isn't your city on fire still? There used to be an on-road track not too far from Portland. Gosh, can't remember the name of the town, but I helped run the 2013 Carpet On-Road Nationals, and we flew into Portland and drove right up the highway. It was right on the border, I think, between Washington and Oregon. Huh. Cole Rennernecht will be here. He told me he will. So Tom Rennernecht will be here, and he said that he might be bringing some people with him. So it sounds like maybe there's going to be a little bit of an out-of-town contingent, I guess. Yeah, Tom Renneck's basically a kind of a superstar now, man. He keeps making those A mains at 10 scale races, and kind of he's going to get himself a little bit of a following, and people are going to kind of keep up on where he's at, and hopefully he kind of mentions how, you know, the Plex is right now kind of home track, I hope, since there's really another place to go. Got another one from Vancouver. That's pretty cool. Dad-daughter RC 541. I thought I saw Vancouver up there. Vancouver's actually a city I'd like to visit. It's like a bucket list. My sister lived in Seattle actually for a couple months when she was doing the whole newsroom thing. So she was working her way up different market stuff for news production, like your nightly news and stuff, and then kind of decided she didn't want to do that anymore. So, but I think she lived in Seattle, Orlando. She went to Sioux City, Seattle, Orlando, and then back home here to Omaha. So Jumpin' Picks, I sold him his Element Enduro and stuff last year. That's great. Oh, okay. Dad, daughter's in Central Oregon. That's pretty cool. Oregon's beautiful, dude. When I flew into Portland, and what mountain is that by the airport that we all have to fly by? It was the most insane thing. I've never seen anything like it. Being from Nebraska, I mean, I've been to Colorado a few times, and I've driven through Colorado, and I've seen mountains and stuff. But the fact that that was that's so big, and we had to fly like basically right next to it to get to the airport, it was insane. Yeah, Mount Hood, exactly. It's beautiful. Where are we at here? I'm missing a bunch of stuff. I think Steve asked a question up here. You had to have your own pit table, etc. Is that normal? Are we just super blessed to have the Plex? Well, I mean, basically, most outdoor tracks, they're not going to have, you know, permanent pit tables. Most of them don't. And so if you travel to 8 scale races, if you watch my video when I do the tour of the hobby shop, and then I go out back and I kind of pan over, and you see all these guys with trailers. I mean, that's 8 scale racing is kind of its own little, they've kind of got their own way of doing things down. And so everybody that's super serious about it usually has a trailer, and they pit out of their trailer. A lot of times those trailers have air conditioning, because a lot of these tracks, they're out in fields because, it's expensive, land's expensive, right? And so, there's usually no trees around, and it's just easier to drag a trailer around than it is to take everything with you like I did. So, a lot of times I'll have an easy up. The Plex has an easy up that I usually borrow, and I just didn't for this one. It all worked out though. But yeah, dude, the fact that even when the track was outside, we all pitted inside still. Back when the track first started, and we were where Holiday Bright Lights is right now, we all pitted outside, but when we went to the bottom, then all of a sudden we could pit inside, put a speaker inside so everybody can hear. And yeah, it's just kind of how things started to really work out with us. So, but that's pretty normal. Usually bring it. I forgot chairs. So, but usually bring a table, chairs, power strip, extension cord, air compressor, all that stuff. You pretty much just drag it with you. See you, Paul. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hey, for all you Friday nighters, it looks like I'm running races. It would be the 28th of May, so the Friday after next. So that means we'll do another mini T melee. So get those mini Ts out. Cole, yeah, Alex and Mac both usually will run 8 scale if there's a race to go to. They were at State Line a couple years ago, and I think they're planning on. I know at least Alex is planning on racing regionals. That same race that Emerson and I are going to go to in June. So should be fun. See how those guys battle it out. It's pretty good at it. I think he qualified 4th at that big race that we went to. So if the Techno Truggy comes out within the next couple weeks, Emerson really likes racing Truggies. So that buggy that we have will probably end up being mine, and then he'll race Truggy. But if the Truggy doesn't come out yet, then we're going to share it. I'm going to race 40 plus, and he's going to race regular buggy at regionals. So yeah, Owen raced too. He was at that race. Owen raced. Vanderbeeks, man, they just like to race. They race RC cars. That's what they do. The whole family. It's like they were made for it. DC wants to know what type of truck is the Coca-Cola one with the orange wheels in the back. That is a Team Losi JRX-T. It's one of my prized possessions. It's got Gil Losi Jr.'s signature on it. And there's a lot of Losi RC cars on Facebook Marketplace right now, and the person's asking way too much money for them. But one of them is basically a converted JRX2 to an oval car that I think I could very easily, with the parts I own, convert it back to the off-road version. So I keep trying to talk myself out of messaging this person and saying, hey, I kind of collect this stuff, and you're asking way too much for it, but here's what I can give you for it, and see if they take it. And then all of a sudden I would have another part of my collection that I'm missing done. But I don't think that lot's going to go anywhere anytime soon, because they want way too much money for basically crappy oval converted cars. If it was like an actual JRX2 without any of the stuff done to it to make it an oval car, then I could see it being a little closer to what they're asking for it, but not the way it is now. But I think I could turn it back to a good car. Oh, hey Rod, I was going to tell you, Rod Case is on here. Check out his channel, Rod Case Racing, or I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyways, Emerson's totally outgrown his Trek mountain bike, and it needs some work. So if you'd be interested in it, I could probably send that your way if you want. Get it out of my garage. I know you're into BMX, but still, it's a 24-inch mountain bike. I think it's 24-inch. No, wait, it's a size 15, so it's not a 24-inch. It's bigger than that even. I'll have to look. I can't remember. They might be 20. I think they're 20. They're 26-inch wheels. Yeah. But anyways, my son's grown like seems like a foot and a half this last winter, so he no longer fits on that bike at all. Cole Webb's got a BMX bike. We've all had BMX bikes. Except me. I really wanted a Schwinn Predator when I was a kid, and ended up getting a mountain bike instead. I regret it to this day. Yeah, we're kind of talking bikes. Sorry, Dalton. Cole Emerson was all over that BMX bike at the skate park thing until he started actually doing skating at the skate park. There's a couple. I got a couple videos on my Instagram from when we were doing that. Then we broke the wheel or something, or the axle, and we still haven't got it fixed yet. I have to ask Emerson. Careful Cole wants to know what we broke on it, but I don't remember. All I know is we still haven't got it fixed yet, and that was the bike that I took Emerson to go get out of layaway when I got paid a good amount for running a race once, and he never paid me back in full yet to this day. So guess who doesn't do that anymore? Okay. Shocks are done. I actually feel like I accomplished something again tonight. This is great. Got a toothbrush. Might go try to race my planes tomorrow before race my planes. Flying my planes tomorrow before it warms up. I bet the wind will be died off. I swear every time that I go to fly, it gets windy, and it's really annoying. That's usually the case in the spring around here. It's never not windy. And I could fly in a little bit of wind, but not the wind that was out there tonight. It was way too windy. Yeah, doing the podcast is pretty fun, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, the podcast wouldn't be any fun without Will being there. So I'm glad we're able to do it every week. I'm glad he hasn't gotten tired of it. Because there's always something to talk about. So yeah, they do plane racing. They call it pylon racing. So it's those things are crazy. They're these really skinny airplanes with like a swept wing, but a really long swept wing. You're basically full aileron the whole time. Your plane's basically sideways. You never really level out. You're always just, and then you come around the pylon, and you come around the pylon, and you come around the pylon. You hardly ever level off. It's honestly doesn't interest me at all. I like the 3D stuff. I like being able to do loops and hovers and blenders and stalls and twists and all that good stuff. I really like doing that right now. So yep. Cole Webb says this, so the summer series goes by points. Yes, it does. It 100 points for first, 99 for second, 98 for third, and so on and so on and so on. And you get 1 bonus point for TQ. So yeah, Jason Haley, that's a good point, and I've been meaning to get a hold of the Hawks again and see if I can get those guys to come on and talk about the Hawks because they've done a lot of really neat stuff this year. They have a website with a live webcam that you can tune into all the time. It's always on, and they're doing some crazy improvements to the field itself. They just added a whole new deck, so there's even more covered space, and they added a new bathroom that they're kind of using for storage right now, but it's yeah, I need to get those guys on for sure. Dalton says Cole, race your rustlers in the summer series. So just remember the summer series, if you race Plex spec, you can't race anything else. It's one or the other. So I've been a little lax with that at club racing, which I'm totally okay with because I want you guys to come out and get track time. But the summer series is kind of its own deal. So it's kind of like a big race. If you race Plex at a big race, you really shouldn't race anything else because then you don't belong in Plex. It's kind of the same way at the summer series. So you got to pick your poison. And I've seen before where like somebody starts off racing Plex spec in the first couple months, and then all of a sudden it like something clicks and they get really good and they want to race, independent or expert buggy even, and or something, like stadium truck or whatever. And they're locked into the point already. And so if they jump out of it, well, then they're going to lose the point series. So they stick with it. I've seen that more than once. So you just got to kind of determine your own level and figure out where you're going to be. So can I race gas truck and Plex spec at the Techno series? The Techno series does not have Plex spec. So the answer to that would be no. Sorry. There is no Plex spec at the Techno series. It's a different crowd, mostly adults or kids trying to be adults or adults that should be kids. What else we got? I'm getting ready to go. No beginner class at the Techno series. There's Sportsman. There's Sportsman e-buggy and Sportsman nitro buggy. That's basically the beginner class at the Techno series. Sportsman's basically just like independent. If you have any sponsors at all, can't race Sportsman. E-buggy's pretty fun, dude. I'll probably race e-buggy all series next year or next season. The winter series is tough for me. Out of all the stuff that we do, the winter series gives me the most anxiety. Like I a lot of times have trouble sleeping the night before a techno series just because I just want to make sure I know I want everything to go smoothly. And then if it gets really, really cold out, that's when I start to freak out too, because I know how rough it can get when we have the doors open to ventilate and it's really cold in there. So Rod, so on Friday nights Trevor usually figures out who we have, and then we'll just make some racing classes based on who we have. So if there's a couple mod four-wheelers and a couple 13.5 four-wheelers, they'll all get put together in a class. He hasn't really had to do that for the buggy class because there's normally enough stock buggies. I know like Nick and Jackson and the Saunders, Troy and Sam, TJ and Ronnie. I mean, those guys have all been coming on a regular basis. Dan. Who else? Who's that other guy? They've all kind of been coming on a regular basis. So for at least for the buggy class, they really haven't had to do that. If Aiden wants to race, you know, he gets thrown in there, but he doesn't really count. So yeah. If you're running mod, you'll just be in there. So dude, people go crazy with their cars, man. There was a guy at the store and he was getting angry with us because we couldn't quite figure out A, what he was asking, but also B, like he was mad because his TTO2 was going through gears like crazy and he wanted to know why. And we all looked at him and went, well, dude, you're running like a 5200 kV brushless motor. Like that car is not meant for that size of motor. And this guy just did not want to hear that. Was getting frustrated, but I mean, you know, whatever. Rod, we do. We have the C and D blocks. We have the front top plate now with the stuff to make the steering nice and tight. I think we've got in all those parts now. A lot of it came off back order last week, I think. I know we got the C and D blocks though for sure, unless they've sold, but I don't think they have. So. Dalton Conrad has a question. He wants to know what KV are 13.5 stock motors. So the crazy thing about spec motors is their KVs are kind of all over the map, but technically I think they're supposed to be like 33 or 3500 KV, somewhere in there, if I'm remembering correctly. But the crappy thing about KV is there's no it's kind of like batteries. There's no standard to measure somebody says for KV on a motor, right? So one brand's 13.5 could say that it's 3200 kV, while another brand's could say it's 3500 kV. Yet they're both a 13.5 wine. So I don't know, man, but it's somewhere in that range, if I'm not mistaken. Cole, I don't think so. maybe again this summer. I mean, you never know. He did enjoy himself up here, so that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Did we get Octolocks in? I'm not sure. The spur gear or the pad? We might not have gotten the pads in. Anywho, well, yeah, I don't think we got the pads in just yet. So Cole Webb, did you get free tires for being sponsored by J Concepts? Kind of, for a little while. So you're not really supposed to talk about it, but just so you guys have an insight. I mean, basically, depends on what level of sponsorship you're at. But some of us have like quarterly limits that were allotted, and then after that, we have to pay us another percentage off. So it just kind of depends on which month it is, basically. So like at TLR, when I was full ride at Team Losi, I got $1,500 of product per quarter. So, but it's at full retail, so that can go pretty quick if you're not careful. I mean, a full kit's like $1,200, So, I always tried to be really smart with my sponsorships. Like I would order a lot of diff parts, so a lot of diff balls, thrust bearings, ball bearings, arms, stuff that you would break. But since I never really break that much, I'd always just do the consumables, wings, rims, wheels. When Losi had tires, I'd order tires. It's certainly not that much at J Concepts. So, but that was kind of how that worked. And then if I went over that limit for the quarter, then everything reverted back to a certain percentage off of product, right? So some of these top dogs, not only do they have a quarterly limit that's probably higher than what I had, but some of them do get travel reimbursements and stuff too. So if you put in the work and you're not a douche, you might be able to not have to pay for stuff. But if there's nothing wrong with being a regular Joe either and just supporting your local hobby shop, because otherwise you wouldn't have a place to race, and then what'd be the point? So just keep that in mind. So okay, I'm starting to get tired. I'm gonna bail and look forward to next week. Summer series prep. I'll be gluing tires the whole time. So there we go. There's my other sponsor right there. Even though I said I wasn't going to be sponsored by a car kit company ever again, I changed my mind. So you can do that too. You can change your mind. So, yep. I work tomorrow night, and I'll see some of you guys there. Everybody else, thanks for tuning in as always. Again, sorry we didn't go last week, but oh yeah, last week. Oh my gosh. So before I go, okay, listen, folks. I got the vaccine, right? Then I got the second vaccine, and that night, Wednesday night, after I got my vaccine, I got like the chills, right? And I couldn't stop shaking for like an hour before I went to bed. Finally forced myself to sleep. Woke up the next day, felt like I got ran over by a truck. Had to work anyways, so I went. Felt like I got ran over a truck all day. came home that night and was just out of it, right? And then Friday felt fine, perfectly fine. Everything was fine. So I'm officially fully vaccinated. I got 1 more week to go before officially, you know, if we were to follow the CDC rules, which I mean, quite honestly, who listens to them anymore? But here's the thing. So telling you, the other than that first day, that day and a half, now I'm all ready to go. COVID can get punched in the face, and I encourage you guys, if you haven't done it yet, if you're somebody like Riley who's like 20 years old or 19, I don't even know how old you are, and you're healthy and stuff like that, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But if you're older, dude, just do it. Get it over with. Then we can all go back to everything else that we do. So there's my soapbox, and I'm not part of some conspiracy. I'm just trying to tell you guys, or not. I don't really care. Whatever. I'm just not going to wear a mask anymore. So 12 days. That's when Omaha's mask mandate ends, in 12 days. I'm so happy. Cannot wait. Anyways, I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys later.